Happy New Year, 360 family. It's 2025 and the very first episode of the 360 show in 2025. It's season 6, episode 16, and a new year brings new opportunities, but also new challenges as I think of the WTC Finals happening at Lords in 2025 and South Africa qualified for that. Congratulations, Proteas. We're all very, very proud of you. And we also cover the Test Team of the Year, guys. I got a lot of comments from you guys, so thank you very much for taking part in that. And I'll also share what I think was the best 11 for 2024 in Test cricket. It is a Happy New Year. It's 2025. It's the 360 show. Let's go. All right, it's South Africa that qualified first for the WTC Finals. That'll be taking place at Lords, and I'm going to do my absolute best to go and support the boys. I am incredibly proud of what we all thought was a very inexperienced team with new coaches, a whole new look. But with that comes a lot of energy, and we saw the pride and the passion these guys showed against Pakistan, winning that first test match at Centurion. I was there on day 3 of the test for the first 2 hours when it rained for the 2 hours. That's the only 2 hours I was at the test for. And I took my kids along, and the very first test match got rained out the whole session. Well, the minute we got back home, we needed to pack to go on holiday. The boys came out to play again, and my kids were very, very sad. But I got to see the Proteas nonetheless. It was very nice. There is some footage out on my socials of me playing a bit of football game in the dressing room with the boys. They didn't show the punishment, though. I lost one of those games, and I got flicks on my forehead from the whole team. I still got a bit of a headache from that. But great performance, South Africa, deciding to bowl first. I wasn't quite in agreement with that. I wanted us to bat first, feeling that the wicket is very slow on day 1, and you can sort of get away with a lot in that first day, which Pakistan didn't take full advantage of. I thought 211 all out. South Africa really fighting hard to get to 300. It looked like at one stage that we're going to get bowled out for under 200, and Corbin Bosch, incredible knock, and the tail wagging for South Africa. And that was the big difference. Some of the commentators touched on that as well. And I thought that was the big difference in the South Africa winning this test match, is the tail enders chipping in with the bat in hand, with the Pakistan tail enders didn't do much this test match. And I personally had a lot of experiences like that in my career, where our tail wagged, especially over there in Australia and England, the tail enders adding 80 to 100 runs at the back end, proving to be the difference between two teams in test match cricket. And this was another one of those examples. Pakistan going in again 237, and South Africa with a very tricky chase. I thought Pakistan bowled exceptionally well at the end of day 3, going into day 4, putting South Africa under a lot of pressure and making that 150 seem like it was 300. But in step Kagiso Rabada and Marco Jansen, showed a lot of guts, a lot of character. And those are the kind of things you really want to see in teams, in test cricket. And that's what builds team spirit, guys. And South Africa and this South African team, the young, inexperienced team, would have taken a lot of confidence from that. All young teams, even the Proteas during our days in 2007, going into 2008 to 13, where we dominated cricket, test cricket around the world. We had very shaky years in 2006 and 7, but those were the character building years. And I see this as a character building year for the Proteas going into 2025 now with a lot of confidence. And hopefully we can see some star players emerge from this team. But KG Rabada used up all of his experience, scoring a match-winning knock there at the end. I think it was 30-odd, faster than a runner ball. But all in all, incredible performance from Temba and his boys, and we're all very proud of them. So Proteas onwards and upwards into the New Year's test, and then also that big WTC Finals awaits them in 2025. Let's move on to the Oz win at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Great performance from them. We all called it that the momentum now was in their court, and they took full advantage of all that momentum going into this 4th test match, and a crucial test match, which they ended up winning. Steve Smith is back into form again, which is not good news for any Indian player or Indian fan around the world. 140 in that first innings. As Australia posted a big total of 470 odd, as it looked like they were going to stumble to around 350, which I didn't think was enough. India, unfortunately, stumbling to 369 with a Nitish Kumar Reddy 100, the star performer of that knock. But all in all, guys, in this entire test match, the Indian top order just not in good enough form. Yes, Jaiswal at the end with the 80 in the final innings, but all in all, I've spoken about this in length. Going to Australia, you need runs on the board for your bowlers to have freedom to carry those catches for longer periods of time. And Australia, unfortunately for India, Australia ended up being that team who got the 470, and India just never ever getting enough there. When you trail there in a test match against the Aussies, they really step on the heat, and that's exactly what they did. They never let India loose, and they just piled on the pressure with every session. So some headaches for the selection panel as the batters are not in form, especially Rohit Sharma not really coming to the party in this test series. That we're opening with him in this last test match, which I didn't really enjoy. If you decide on the middle order, stick with it. And then KL at 3, so they were batting out of position. And they dropped Shubman Gill for Washington Sundar as well, which I felt was a little bit of a defensive move. But can you drop Rohit Sharma as captain? Going into this final test match, yes, it might seem desperate, but with Bumrah performing well as captain early on in the series, perhaps that is a desperate move, but maybe it is what they need in order to move forward. Get some batters in there who are in form, maybe give Gill another chance, and bat the players in position, guys. I think that is what the learning that they should be taking out of this. Batters are quite sensitive creatures. We want to be comfortable. It's not easy to face fast bowling, flying around your ears. At least you want to play in a position you're comfortable with and used to. So a bit of a headache for the selection panel, for the captain, for whoever needs to make the decision. Will the captain perhaps drop himself and say, guys, I've had a fair chance at it now, and maybe I should step away for this last test match, reassess. Doesn't mean I'm done with cricket or test cricket. Maybe have a look at the next series again. But perhaps Bumrah should be taking over in this final test match and let the other players play in position. And then the other thing is Bumrah's workload. Yes, I'm talking about him possibly having to take captaincy for the final test match, but he seemed tired in that last innings that he was bowling. He seemed like he lost a bit of pace, a little bit of oomph. It was not the Bumrah that we're used to. Yes, he can't do the magical stuff in every test match, but at least he needs to be free and fresh out there. So maybe the captaincy will not be a good idea. I know I'm talking all over the place in circles at the moment, but I would still go with Bumrah as captain, get the batters who are in form in the right positions, and then maybe have Bumrah bowl a little bit less at preferred times, at crucial times, and with some shorter spells perhaps. Let's have a quick look at the log then. South Africa at the top, 66.67. They can't be caught anymore. Australia in the close second there, guys. But the interesting scenario is 3 teams are still in the run here, and that's Sri Lanka, Australia, and also India to qualify for that WTC Finals and to take the second spot. So if there's a draw at Sydney, that's the scenarios. Then Sri Lanka will have to win 2-0 against Australia when Australia tour to Sri Lanka. So interesting scenario there. Sri Lanka will be hoping for a draw. Obviously, Australia will try and prevent that from happening and go for the win at SCG with that New Year's Test match. But India also still in the run for it. They'll try and get a win there at the back end of the series. And with lots of scenarios that can still play out. And it's all to play for. As we know, South Africa qualified. I will do my absolute best to go to Lords, to go support the boys. I'll update you guys closer to the time. Let's move on to the test team of the year for 2024, guys. Thank you very much for putting out comments and letting me know what you guys thought. We'll cover that in a minute. But my test 11 will be Yashasvi Jaiswal, Ben Duckett, Joe Root in number 3. I got Harry Brook at 4. Mendes from Sri Lanka at 5. Kamindu Mendes, that is. Then at 6, my all-rounder, Ravi Jadeja, left-arm spinner from India, to bat at 6, but also bowl some overs. Mohammad Rizwan from Pakistan, I thought was the best wicket-keeping batsman of the year. He scored a lot of runs, averaging 44, 539 runs. And then the bowling team, guys. Obviously, Jadu will be there to bowl some overs. My fast bowlers will be Rabada, Bumrah, and Hazelwood, and also Jaya Surya from Sri Lanka as my specialist spinner, who had a fantastic season with 4 fifers, that is. But Hazelwood, Bumrah, Rabada, my seam attack, I wouldn't want to face that in any test match. There's a lot of skill there, a lot of pace, and a lot of firepower. But there's my 11, guys, and I want to have a look at what you guys think. So let's move on to the comms box. Lots of interesting scenarios that you guys put out for me here. I see Willem O'Rourke featuring, and also Travis Head and Rishabh Pant. Those are the guys I don't have. So, David, thanks for that. And there's another one here, Bhavye Aurora Jaiswal, Root, you got the same as me, Brooke, Bumrah, but you got Cummins in as captain. I don't have Cummins, but thank you very much. Interesting there. Also, I see you threw in Mahedi Miras. Interesting. Jamie Smith as wicketkeeper as well. Pretty interesting stuff here, guys. I got my 11 out there. And let's cover two more guys here. Also, very similar setup here from the doctor. But you got Daryl Mitchell in there, also Jamie Smith. Very good team. Also, Shamar Joseph. We saw him from the West Indies performing really well throughout 2024, having a fantastic series over there in Australia. It was great to see him break through, especially with his background. And then last but not least, bowler Bumrah as a must. I fully agree with that. Captain should be Pat Cummins. I don't have it quite like that, but it's a good one nonetheless. And you can't ignore Travis Head. I love Travis Head, guys. He was not in my 11, but I do like it. There's my 11. Yashasvi Jaiswal, Ducker, Joe Root, Harry Brook, Kamindo Mendes as my top 5. I really like the look of that. And I always like bowling options. Jadu at 6. You can score your runs as well. Rizwan at 7. And then my bowlers, Jai Surya, Bumrah Rabada, and Hazelwood. That's it for the 360 show, guys. I am enjoying the first day of the New Year's. I am at a place called Leopard Creek at the moment. As you can see, I'm wearing the merchandise. Also the cap. It's one of the most beautiful golf courses in the world. I'm still in my golf clothes, so I just played around. I will be sharing some footage with you guys at the back end of the show. Also on social media platforms. But there's also a nice video out already on social media platforms of what the Villiers family are getting up to. We love traveling. We went to a place called George on the eastern coast of South Africa. And now we're in the bushveld far north. Long traveling day that we had to get here, a place called Leopard Creek. It borders on the Kruger National Park, as you will see in this video that I took on the 13th green of Leopard Creek Golf Course, right on the Crocodile River. Absolutely incredible. I saw some hippos and also some other wildlife. I didn't play very good golf, but my partner and I won the golf game, so pretty happy with that. But all in all, we're having a fantastic New Year's. Also some fishing on the big dams that they have here at Leopard Creek. And just big fires, big braais, barbecues, as you guys call it. I call it a braai. And there's also a Hawaiian party. I might take some pictures of that later on. Guys, wherever you are in the world, happy New Year. Have a fantastic 2025. I'm very much looking forward to the 360 show with you guys in the next year. We've got a lot of great footage coming your way. And yeah, I'm going to keep you guys on your toes this coming this year, 2025. It is a new year. Happy New Year. It's a 360 show. Please like the show, subscribe, and let's go into 2025 with a lot of energy, a lot of love, a lot of joy. Happy New Year.